Hi everyone, and welcome to my third video on how to win at League of Legends. So I really liked the last video I made, so I will try to keep it in the same way for this one, except for change I will try to maybe show you some gameplay with Ahri instead of Kassadin. Both champion are AP carries, so the general tricks I will give you can still apply, but I think that it's always good to have a change between two videos to keep things fresh. So that's for a quick introduction. So I'm having a little problem. Okay, so right now in this game is taken from one of my ranked matches. It was just around 1550 ELO, so maybe not the most competitive game around, but still some very solid and very entertaining gameplay to watch. So as in my last video, I won't maybe focus on the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes on the general gameplay, but more on like trying to teach you how to effectively play a specific character. I'll just try here to highlight the quick invade. So as you can see, big damage. Olaf gets almost dropped. He's very lucky. Some very chaos. We get first blood, but sadly Alistar is caught. Everyone tries to run away now, and Ashe is like trying to waste other flash, trying to go away, but Lee Sin easily kill her. So a pretty rough start. Usually when you invade, it's not worth it unless you get the first blood and manage to go away. Sometimes if the enemy team is really screwed up, you can even get more kills, but as a general rule, I really don't like in myself the invade, because if it works, the enemy jungler is gonna have a very boring early game, and in the long run the advantage is not really worth the risk. So as you can see now, Lee Sin started with this double kill, has a big lead over Olaf, and as you will see, it will really show off during the gameplay. So right now we are pretty demoralized because of that, but as in every game that I have a rough start, I do a little trick that I call I'll just mute all my teammates. Not because I don't want to communicate with them, I still have the pings that I can use, but usually that's the good equation for my first rule of thumb for this video. So usually if you have a big disadvantage, it's better to just try to shut your minds from everything happening elsewhere on the map and just focus on winning your lane, because honestly that's the best thing you can hope for, because in the first 10 to 15 minutes the biggest objective is to try to win your lane. So this is why when you lose, you have a rough start, as a general rule of thumb, try to mute your teammate and just focus on trying to outmatch your opponents. This is so on my part, so far everything is looking not so bad. Morgana is playing safe, trying to farm maybe some light harass, and me too. I'm not a very experienced Ahri player, but I try, since she plays a lot like Kassadin, I try to learn her the best I can. As you can see, I totally whiff my skill shot. So enough gameplay commentary. I know that you don't watch this video especially to hear me talk about it. So for the first 15 minutes, you can watch the gameplay while I go over describing the general skills of Ahri and some general rule of thumb to really get better at playing her. So Ahri passive, sorry for my accent, I don't know how to precisely pronounce her name, so I'll try Ahri. Ahri passive is spell vamp. Usually after hitting nine enemy minions or champions, your next spell will do spell vamp. This is a pretty straightforward passive. It's not the best, but in my opinion it really complements the general aspect of Ahri, as she is not as bursty as other AP carries. Her first spell of our Orb of Deception is her main source of damage, what it does is that it sends a little or ball of light in a straight line, just like that, dealing damage to any enemy champion and minion it hits, charging up the passive, as you can see here. And on the way back, it deals 2 damage. In my opinion, it's a very solid spell, because as around level 7, if you have some good farms or maybe 1 kill or 2, you can get AP item that will allow you to very effectively farm the enemy minions and get further ahead. As you can see, trying to do some good harass, and even though Morgana is able to shield some of my damage with her black shield, since the damage from the orb in the way back is in the form of true damage, her shield is pretty useless. So as you can see, I try to aim my skill shot. Usually when dealing with skill shot, especially if you're not very familiar with the champs, like me with Ahri, since I only played like 5 games with her so far before trying her in ranked, but I was confident, I was still confident I could play a very solid performance. But usually when aiming a skill shot, especially when beginning, try to be conservative. As a general rule of thumb, when you are not very good with skill shot, try to aim them without thinking about it, because that's a concept that another good game commentator, Stonewall, on YouTube taught me, is that skill shot can be predicted, and the better the enemy champion is, the better you will be at predicting where you will land a skill shot. So if you're learning how to use a skill shot, try not to think about it. Try to go just like, I don't like the word, but maybe that's the best way I can think of, like in a random way. So this way you have almost the same chance of landing your skill shot, but also you might surprise your opponent, and you never know if this can conclude into a kill if you're able to use your other abilities in an efficient way. So second rule of thumb for this video: when learning skill shot, aim for quantity and unpredictability. So with Ahri, her second spell is called Foxfire. What it does, I'm sure everyone has a rough idea so far, maybe you saw me use it, is that it puts 3 little balls of flame around Ahri and will aim the first few enemies that it will hit. So that's roughly how it works. As you can see, Morgana trying to go on me, but I managed to dodge her skill shot pretty easily. So right now, me and Morgana are just trying to farm, but that's usually what I prefer to do when I'm not very familiar with a champion, especially a very squishy champion like Ahri. So her third spell is Charm. Technically, Charm is I don't know if it would be qualified by some of the more purist League of Legends players as RCC, but personally I see it just that way, because it's just so good. It's basically it's just like a stun, but at the same time that you're stunning the enemy champion, he moves toward you, and the duration and damage is very, very solid. So personally, I think it's one of the most useful skills on Ahri, especially at the late game, where when you can cut someone from a bush, it usually ends in an instant kill, and so wins you every team fight, or maybe secure a Baron because of the 4v5 situation in most cases. So one of her, in my opinion, her charm is her best skills, but also are hardest to land, since the hitbox is very small, and also the speed is very low. So when I first tried to play Ahri in normal game, what I saw is that it was really hard to try to initiate with your charm. So with this champion, if you want to be as efficient as possible, you really don't want to initiate with your charm. As a general rule, I always try to keep my charm for the end of my combo, when the enemy tries to run away. So considering this and the general comments I gave so far, my build order for Ahri so far, do not take it for granted. I'm still experimenting with her. I found her very fun, but I don't know if this build would work at 2000 elo. But my general skilling order is max Q first, put up a point and charm at level 2 in case your jungler want to go for a quick gank, and afterward max Q, W, your ult, and your E. So first priority on skilling is Q, after that W, after that E, and after that your ultimate. So I talk about the first 3 spell and the passive, now her ultimate. So why did I wanted to start to play Ahri? Pretty simple. Kassadin is my favorite character. I did a video on him, like my last video was just concentrated on giving tips and presenting Kassadin. I will go in further details in another video, especially that I have a very good games in reserve, good ranked game with Kassadin, where I really show you how to play him efficiently. But okay, back to Ahri. I'm losing track of things. So as you can see, oh, good occasion to show my ult. I dodge, I get stunned, she tries to kill me, but the only reason I live because I dodged that spell. So as you can see what it does, it's just like Kassadin, except it's on the shorter range and you can use it in a 3 burst way. But after that you have to wait for the 100 second, 80 second cooldown, depending on your runes or the level of your ultimate. So basically this spell has an infinite use. It can be used for so many things. It can be used to kite, it can be used to escape, it can be used to move around the map, it can be used to chase, it can be used to burst, it can be used for absolutely almost everything you can hope for in a League of Legends champion. The trick with that spell is it's that just like Kassadin Riftwalk, it's very easy to just screw it up and get killed. Like going too far away, like just jumping in a team fight that you don't have the survivability, or just screwing up and going and blinking into an enemy ganks or an enemy warded bush, stuff like that. So if you remember correctly, I told you that as a general rule of thumb, oh, just wait, the team fight. So as you can see, some good damage, but we're losing pretty fast, all off health, Riven ults, and me, I stab the back, just trying to deal some good damage, but look at that, oh, Olaf teleporting. Just before I go back to general giving some tips about Ahri, just our Olaf so far is losing against Lee Sin. I don't want to blame him, because honestly I would probably lose against Lee Sin, who got a double kill in the first 2 minutes. But especially as Olaf, where he's very weak early game compared to Lee Sin. But as you can see, this player just decided, oh, nice Q. So I deal some good damage. That burst. Oh, and he tries to ult me. And look at that. Will I make it out? Oh, that Alistar. Oh my god, I love that Alistar. If you have the attention, or if you want, this guy really makes some nice Alistar play during the course of the game, especially in the late game team fight. I know that you guys don't really have the time, or maybe you don't want to watch the full 40 minutes video, but this Alistar is very good, and especially in the last team fight you will see that he and I are really synergizing well and carrying this game pretty hard. So that's about it. So as a general rule of thumb, for Spirit Rush, Ahri passive, do not use it for offensive ways, especially when starting to learn the character. Keep it off cooldown so that you can farm in the safest manner, and in the team fight just use it to dodge enemy skill shot, to kite enemy champion and bruisers, and especially if you're getting focused, to just disengage and wait for the team fight to fully engage on your other bruisers or tanks, or maybe even the AD carry, so that you can deal a lot of damage using your Orb of Deception and trying to CC the most valuable target with your charm. So here, what I did is a general trick that I learned pretty recently. It's not the most game-changing skill, but as you can see, it will work pretty well for this fight. So, first of all, so what I did is that I pushed the lane before going to help the bot lane in a team fight. This is a concept that I saw watching more streamers and stuff like that. It's called map presence. I'm not used to playing AP carries. I'm more used in the fast mon to play jungler and play the solo top lane. But to be a good AP carry, you have to get some map presence in your gameplay. So how to do that? Map presence is a pretty abstract concept, especially for new players, but I will try to give you 2 rules of thumb to follow it. So, do never try to gank mid or top unless the enemy minion line is here or here. That's the first rule of thumb. If you see the enemy champion or minion line being above this line or this line, you can try to do a gank. Maybe it will be rewarded, especially in ranked games where everyone is very tryhard and trying to play to win and stuff like that. But if you're lucky, you might end up getting a double kill, which will really help out your lanes, especially if they are losing. Like right now, right now it's pretty even, but since Olaf is losing, I will have to make my lane presence be felt soon, because if not, Lee Sin will just shut him down completely and won't be able to do nothing. So first rule of thumb, never engage unless it's push. The minion line is or the champion are pushed behind the mid section of the lane. The second rule of thumb is before doing that, push your minion lines to the towers. Why would you do that? 2 reasons. If you push the minion line to the tower, it will usually force players who are not very experimented to stay at their tower to farm. So as you can see, this game is really looking bad. It's pretty even on the score, but I don't know, all those kills, we'll have to work harder. So push your lane to the tower so that the enemy AP carries is baited in staying to get the farm. If he follows you, he will lose farm, and that's not really something that AP carries wants to do. And secondly, if you push like a retard to the enemy towers, the enemy jungler will usually see you as a potential kill and will try to engage you. But while you are going to gank either bot lane or top lane, he will probably try to hide in this bush for maybe a good 5 to 10 seconds, maybe more if he's not a very experimented jungler. So that will really enable you to secure, to relieve some pressure from the enemy lane. So another good little tricks that you can apply to almost every AP carry, especially ones that can push very well, like Ahri, because of her very potential area of effect skills. So I talk about Ahri's skill set, give you some tips about using her skills. So far, me thinking just like that, I think I can give you one last rule of thumb for Ahri. When you're trying to gank or to engage, always save your charm for last, because as I said previously, it's very easy to dodge. So just keep it so for the right occasion. You really have to wait for the right occasion to use it. When is the right occasion? Usually, if I can name 3 situations, there will be the if the enemy champion is just burned their flash, that's very good. If you're chasing and they are panicked and disorganized, that's really good. Or also if you're able to follow it up on a stun. So as you can see, I'll have teleports again, making this a 4v5. We get a dragon, we decide to continue to engage. Amemu is stunned, getting some good damage, but he can't run away. Look at this. I save my ult to just dodge Morgana ult, so strong. After that, I snipe Ashe, I get focused by Corki, But look at what happened. Look at this Alistar. Look at him. Oh my god, double stun. He gets one shot. Look at that. Chasing. Good damage, bursted. And now Corky is in big trouble, losing so much health. And the Ignite finish him off. Lots of action in this fight, as I promise you. It was a 4v5, so that justified the fact that we won, but it was still very, very close because Ashe was caught really easily out of position. But basically, me, Alistar, and Ahri are so far very carrying this game. I know that most people don't like support. Honestly, I can understand that. I'm not myself a big fan of support play, the support meta and stuff like that. But to people that thinks that support can't win games, that's just stupid. Supports have a definitive place, and I'm very happy that Riot released Lulu 2 weeks ago because she's a fun, aggressive, useful support champion, and that's really what I want to see more in the future, more than healing support, which I found very boring in most cases, especially Soraka. So far I gave you some tips about how to use her spells, maybe play the AP carries, and now I will try to give you some discuss about the build option on Ahri. So as I said, I'm not very experimented with Ahri. I tried to apply the same reasoning that I did using Kassadin. So first you use your sorcerer shoes for the extra burst. I was also tempted by using Merc Thread because Merc Thread are really good on AP champion that relies on outmaneuvering the enemy because of the CC reduction, especially versus a Morgana, where her snare is like an instant death if she managed to land it. So now we stun her. Look at that. Ashe is doing so much damage. But right here, as I said, I'm trying to make my presence felt in the game by trying to gank Lee Sin. He is very strong, but he's also a little bit overconfident trying to engage this Olaf so far. But Lee Sin being Lee Sin, he almost makes it out, and if I didn't come, he would probably have managed to maybe go this far before dying, but honestly, I think he would have escaped because Riven and Olaf kind of got pushed out of position and were not able to follow up on that one. So as you can see, as soon as I get the kill, I try to get back to my lane, and since my timing is pretty good, I'm able to get almost all of this minion wave, enabling to keep up in farm with Morgana, although I managed to be much more active in the laning phase than her. She got a good assist. I really don't want to blame her for that, but honestly, she should have really tried to follow me instead of staying at her tower to camp. So build option. I tried to build the standard sorcerer shoes. After that, oh, look at that, Alistar saving our ass again. And oh, a quick team fight, a good engage. Amumu really out of position. Alistar keeping the pressure. I land a good charm, so I'm able to CC Amumu, and Olaf managed to finish him off just running away. But right now we're continuing to engage, pretty dangerous. We're all very low. Ashe burn her arrow, and look at this. Look at Ahri area of effect damage. It's so fucking heavy. I can't believe. When I started playing this character, I was like, oh, it's just like Kassadin, but I think she's way stronger in terms of burst and maneuverability. But at the same time, she's much easier to CC and kill than Kassadin because of Kassadin passive. And now we're foolishly trying to chase, but we should have back. I got greedy and I said chase Lee Sin, get him. But look at Lee Sin, he's very, very good, able to get some good kills. And now Alistar dies, Ashe dies, and will she get away? No, I'm the only one to run away. And honestly, I think that Riven or Olaf will blame this on me. I don't think it was all my fault, but I sure should have seen. Yes, Riven. Riven is blaming this this screw up on me, but that's true. I should have blended my charm during in the river on Lee Sin instead of Taric. But as I said, this was only maybe my 5th or 6th games of Ahri, and I'm not the best at aiming skill shot, especially that I usually use a smart cast. I prefer smart cast on skill shot because it synergizes well with the rule of thumb I gave you about trying to be unpredictable about how to use the skill shot. You don't want the enemy champion to be able to predict when you will use it, and using smart cast is my preferred way to do it because it really helps you stay unpredictable. It really helps you follow up almost in a split second if you see an opportunity to use it. So right now we're kind of split off. Ash is pushing bot. I'm telling her to come because if she doesn't come, they could really easily try a Baron. We try to stay group. We don't want to engage. As a I know maybe I will annoy some people with my rule of thumb approach, but as an engineer, I'm used to dealing with those with the complex situation with lot of variable and really difficult to to efficiently predict what will happen depending on the evolution of the variable. So that's why, just as in the case in League of Legends, where almost there are very hundreds of variables that can influence the outcome of a game. So feel free to tell me if you prefer that I use a standard approach, but me, I really like the rule of thumb approach for League of Legends. That's what I use to get better, and I hope that you will think the same way when you will apply my tips in the game. So as you can see here, a very good team fight. I disengage to continue. This tries to chase me, but I'm just so hard to catch. And listen, seeing me as the main threats, try to focus me, but Alistar's CC and my charm is just way too much for them. So we're able to do a good kill, a very good kill. So I lost my train of thought, but as a general rule of thumb, never try to do the Baron unless you killed more than one person, or that you are past the 45-minute marks and you have a very good DPS, and that you can and get some ward, get a ward here, get a ward here, and get a ward here. That's why we decided to not engage while we were doing the Mexican standoff over here. And when we saw that they decided to do the dragon, we decided to follow that up on that. But as you can see, we really have a stronger CC team, especially since Alistar is playing so well. He's really timing those those pulverize like a fucking boss. I really love that Alistar. It's so rare that you see a support that actually know what he's doing, even at 1600 and 1700, and especially now at 1500. But once in a while you see one, and that Alistar was really carrying this game. Even though I'm having a perfect score so far, I wouldn't have been able to survive in those fights and do all the damage I did, especially on that. So build option. I said about the boot, get a Rabban dead cap, always a standard item. After that, I like to get a quick Doring Ring, maybe 2, depending on how my lane is going. Why? Because it gives me a little bit of survivability, why not sacrificing damage, and all that for a good price. So, very useful. As you can see, big damage just from the... Look at this. I didn't even use my ult. If I was more experimented, I could have get the kill. So after that on Ahri, since Ahri, okay, before I talk about getting the Will of the Ancient, I know that Will of the Ancient, everyone tries to get it on every AP carries these days because it was really strong in February and January because of the especially after the IMM Kyiv tournament where every team had double AP setup. But in all honesty, I don't think that every caster should have Will of the Ancient, except caster that I classified as evolving caster. Evolving caster are caster that do not rely on doing intense burst at the beginning of a team fight. These casters are usually like, maybe the simplest example would be something like Annie, even though she's not that popular anymore, or maybe Brand too. So maybe Cannon. No, Cannon. Will of the Ancient Cannon is good, but the most popular AP carries these days are evolving AP carries. Why I call them this way? It's because evolving AP carry relies on staying alive in the team fight to do not a lot of good initial damage. Here I try to catch someone with my charm, because if I do, it's an instant kill. So try to build Will of the Ancient on evolving AP carries as a general rule of thumb, like with like with Ahri, like with Cannon, maybe Kassadin, but I think he's more bursty. You don't have a lot of spell to spam, but that's why I decided to use it, and I think it plays a key factor in keeping me alive in those team fight long enough to spam my Q and my E and my W to do some good damage. Here we are able to get the tower, but Ahriin decided to engage a little bit too late. As you can see right now, the fight is going very intense. Everyone is getting some good damage. Morgana lands a good ult, but she's so far behind that she's not able to do the damage she's supposed to do. And as you can see right now, we're just chasing and chasing and chasing and pushing to the tower. Olaf continuing to chase, but Corki is just way too fast for him to run down. So I talk about the build. After that, if the game goes on, I would recommend. I was planning of building something like a survivability item, maybe something like something like Zonia Hourglass, or maybe a Rod of Age, or maybe a Guardian Angel. So as you can see, this is the last team fight where oh no, my mistake. It's not last team fight. We try to end the game right now, but they managed to really nicely. Oh, and look at this, the proof that I'm noob with Ahri. I could have so easily dodged that, but I used my ult 3 times in the trees. Oh my god, what a shame. But it's okay. As I said, I'm not the best Ahri player around, but it's okay. I think I made my performance so far is good enough for you to learn a trick or two. As the more game I play with her, I'm sure I'll get better, and after that I'll make some pretty video where I'll play perfectly and stuff like that. But right now it's just funny seeing me dash in the trees like that, and as you can see, even Ash or he's telling me I'm so bad because I didn't know I could drop like that. But as you can see here, this is a typical game thrower mistake. It's a classic stuff. You win a team fight, and instead of consliding, you think that you won the game because of that, and they push way too far alone, and we're just able to run them down so easily. And as you can see. So on this game I decided to go for Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel are very good when you are carrying your team, especially with the very high maneuverability AP carry. But I'm sure that other people would have said to buy maybe some more AP or stuff like that. But since Ahri Q deals 2 damage, it's not that bad. It's not that bad because your damage is pretty consistent over the entire course of the game, even if you don't build pure AP damage item. Also, Ahri scaling is not the best around. It's solid, but I don't think that when Riot designed this champion, it was meant to be a bursty caster as other AP carriers they did so far. But still. So as you can see, we managed to secure Dragon. I got my fresh blue buff. I'm very strong right now with my Guardian Angel and my 400 AP. we're looking now for ending this game because we have the advantage. We are stronger. They have one inhibitor down and no tower at the nexus. So Riven wisely calls for a Baron fight. We don't want to engage because you remember the rule of thumb I gave you at the mid video. You don't want to try the Baron unless you have a ward here, and you know that one of their key players is there with no teleport, or that you kill someone. But since they have no word, it's face check time. Oh, I missed my charm. Oh my god, what a fucking shit. What the fuck? But Olaf is so strong right now. He's so tanky with Riven, and me, I'm just able to carry them all day. Look at that. I completely dodged the ult from Morgana, and after that I used my ult, my Q, my W. I killed this thing very easily. And Riven managed to finish Taric, and only Morgana is left. But maybe she raged or something, but she decided to stay still and was killed by Riven and Olaf, who piled on her. So right now, I think the game is pretty over. As you can see in the scoreboard, everyone is dead and stuff like that. So blaming the lag. It happens. It happened. I don't think that the lag. I think we made some stronger plays than them. That's why we won. But I know it might be so frustrating sometimes to lose maybe 30 seconds, 1 minute of gameplay because of that. But it happens to everything. So thank you for watching, and we'll conclude this video in very shortly. So as we can see in the scoreboard, me and Riven were really doing the work in this game, especially since Olaf was really countered early game. As you can see, but I have to make a special mention for the good gameplay of Alistar. I know I might sound a little bit too enthusiastic about this gameplay, but it's rare that you see a good support that knows how to use his skills effectively, especially in Alistar. And I want more gameplay like that in my future game if I can. I am sure of that. So I hope you enjoyed. I'm still trying to perfect my style. I really like this, if you could call that, engineering approach of League of Legends, the rules of thumb and the stuff like that. I hope that you will be able to take my tips and apply them to your game to get better, because if you get better at League of Legends, you'll be very proud of yourself, since it's the kind of game that really rewards hard work with good and satisfying gameplay. So I hope to be able to do some more gameplay soon, and if you have some special demand about a champion that you want to see in a special role, feel free to ask. I don't want comments because I want to make I want you absolutely to subscribe or stuff like that. I'm only doing those vids for fun, so that's the only reason why I'm asking you, is because I want you to find my vids fun. So tell me what you want. So as I said, thank you and see you